his 36 wins. Here comes Dmitry Bivol. Here comes the man that beat down Canelo in Las Vegas, the fighter of the year in 2022. It's the light heavyweight champ. Watch out for that long, stiff jab.
Look at this. These fights are so up for it. Look at that.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Russia, here is the three-time light heavyweight champion of the world, the hard-hitting Sergey Crusher Kovalev. Fighting out of the blue corner, fighting out of Kyrgyzstan by way of Russia, presenting the acclaimed light heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Dmitry Bivol.
The fans are ready, and it looks like the fighters are now ready.
It's a privilege and an honor to be here. I feel so lucky to be sat here talking about something I love.
No doubt about it, this was the hottest ticket in town by a country mile. Every seat has been sold. Here we go for round one. Nice hook. Back and forth they go. Beautiful counter shot. The straight right just misses. So much hype surrounding this big matchup as the hype continues to build for this showdown.
You have certain fighters that are born for this, that are made for the big crowd. And looking at corner right there, that is that fighter right there. They have elevated, lifted, it's like they're not touching the ground. This is what they were born for.
The straight right just misses. Perfect counter shot. Which fighter will say no mas? Good counter punch. You'd like to see more jabs. Nice counter shot. Good counter punching. When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
That counter shot lands. Just missed with that hook. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. Nice counter shot. He threw a punch and just got countered. Kovalev that last round. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, bell, ring away. You walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
Breathe, just get your breath back in this next round. I need you to focus on what you can't miss it. Great work. Stay focused. Don't worry about this fight.
Here we go, it's round 2. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt, you've got to get out there again. Be smart, be sharp. Don't be a fool, don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up, just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's gonna pop you off.
A counter fighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
You're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. We wanted action, and they are delivering. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Catch and shoot. A straight right just misses. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Those counter punches have to hurt. A swing and a miss with that jab. Well, Johnny, we're in the early stages here. What have you seen so far?
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Punch, counter punch. These two fighters are made for one another. Nice counter. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Kovalev that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage after that last round. Let's see what they have in store for us in the next one.
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's up to you as the fighter, and the cornerman's got to put a firecracker on that fighter. Get out there and get the job done.
See it, he'll ride it out. Go out.
Much better than this guy. You're much better. He's not in your league.
You're getting your time in already. That right hand is beautiful. That's it. Just start sticking a few body shots in there. Vary it up a little bit so he can't figure you out. Great work.
I need you to switch back on. Get focused. Get your mind on.
And there's the bell for round 3. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little favour and pickpocket him.
Misses with the jab. How about that time counter shot? A perfect counter lands. Look how that straight's affecting them. They're both going for the KO. It's so obvious. This fighter has been extremely aggressive so far, Johnny, but how do they keep it up over the distance of this fight?
Todd, look back in history. Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran. The first fight, Sugar Ray Leonard tried to fight, stand there toe-to-toe with him. The second fight, he thought, this guy's aggressive. He's nasty. He'll do everything to get the win. I've got to box him. I've got to frustrate him. I've got to humiliate him and show him how good a boxer I am. That's the only way you beat an aggressive fighter. Show your boxing skills. Step out the way. Don't fight fire with fire. Use brain over brawn.
Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
That counter punch caught him clean. Nice slip to avoid the jab. They've got to use their jab better in this fight. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. They missed with the jab. These two were made for each other. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Kovalev that last round. Well, we know they've got the advantage so far, but how does this match get turned around? Back at it in round 4. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
These punches coming from every angle. Just missed with that hook. Good job by him to interrupt that combination. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tell. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shot. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
Pretty close fight here in this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Exchange punches. It's all offense all the time. They both want the knockout. Nice defense on that jab. And so far, the offense has been better than the defense. We wanted action, and they are giving us action. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk Kovalev that last round. As bad as boxing judging can be sometimes, there's no doubt who won that round.
Dominance, without a doubt, made it look so easy.
Focus, focus, big deep breaths. Big deep...
Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
How do they use this fighter's aggression against them?
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Unlucky to miss with that jab. Straight right just misses. He scores with the counter. Well done. Kovalev is hurt. Trying to buy time. It appears that the moment of trouble has passed, at least for now.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
Oh my goodness, Johnny! Kovalev is dazed. And it appears they're out. Hold her right there. Uh-oh, the crusher in trouble. Somehow weathered the storm.
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself, recompose yourself, then boom, back into it. But do not make those mistakes. This is the wrong place to fall asleep.
This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
As well to block that left jab. Beautiful counter punch. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. The straight right just misses. There's a counter shot. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Kovalev that last round. And a round that seemed like an eternity for them finally comes to a close.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what?
Let's start the 6th. Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Just misses with that uppercut. The hook, but it doesn't score. Who's willing to go where the other fighter won't? Nice counter punch. There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, you are not fit, that is the worst place to be. Having second thoughts in the ring.
For those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Both men step back for just a moment. Do you believe this? Well done with that counter shot. Beautiful counter punch. This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that they're... Whoa, wait a minute! Crusher might be ready to go down. And it appears they weathered the storm. How? I'm not sure.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corners? How are they going to get through this?
Good counter punch. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Kovalev that last round. He is down big time on the scores.
Every second, every minute of this fight.
Get your mind back on the track.
There's the bell to start round 7. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Insane action. The straight right just misses. And he scores with the counter. You don't want to trade shots. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're dealing with someone with so much speed, you've got to get your timing right.
What you've got to do, Toddy, is anticipation. You've got to wait. You just got to throw caution to the wind and just hope. You're never going to know where the shots are coming from. You just got to put in a guess.
There's a counter shot. Good counter punch. So much for boxing. This is a fist fight. He threw a punch and just got countered. They exchange punches. That counter shot lands. A perfect counter lands. Nice idea with the jab, but does not land. Beautiful counter shot. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
Jab does not score. They exchange punches. Nice counter shot. A perfect counter shot. So much for boxing. This is a fight. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Kovalev that last round. They've got the momentum, they've got the advantage. How do they carry that into the next round?
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same kind of pace up, they've got this.
And there's the bell for round 8. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Perfect counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Punch, counter punch. This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
So you're getting in there with somebody that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get in close.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Those counter punches have to hurt. And that left hook doesn't find its target. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. How about that time counter shot? Back and forth they go. Neither fighter willing to back down.
They're so close, so close.
Whoa, Johnny, out of nowhere. Look at this. Uh-oh, the Crusher in trouble. And it appears the onslaught is over, at least for now.
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
Missing with the hook. Catch and shoot. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Don't get trigger happy because all of a sudden you're going to be gassing yourself out trying to get that shot, and that's when they catch you.
You'd like to see someone use a jab here to establish a boxing presence, but no, they just want to fight. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Kovalev that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are going to give that round to you-know-who.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
Focus on what you're doing.
You do. Good work. Just get him on the end of the
Listed. Go back out there and win the round. Get back behind your jab.
Just start sticking a few body shots in there. Vary it up a little bit so he can't figure you out. Great work. Good work there. The jab's working nice. Those 1-2 straights.
Just boxing. Be smart. Get your shots off and don't give him anything.
And back into the fight. Great round. Just stay focused.
Worry about it. Don't worry about that round. Let's go out there. Let's
just the same again. Don't change too much yet. Keep doing what you
go out there and win this next round.
And there's the bell to start round 9. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Missing with that jab. So much firepower here. Well done with that counter shot. In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. He threw a punch and just got countered. Missing with the hook. Beautiful counter shot. I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
This can be so frustrating when you're under such a fast fighter that can throw 3-4 shot combinations before you've even let one off. That creates frustration, and that's when it gets hard.
To be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. One moment changes everything, especially in this division. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Kovalev that last round. At this point, you gotta believe he can't win on the scorecards, gonna need a knockout.
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
Get back at great round, now relax.
And here comes the 10th round. Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. The straight right just misses. You'd like to see more jabs. Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
The straight right just misses. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
They threw the hook, it didn't land. Nice counter punch right up the middle. This fighter's certainly not going to out-throw their opponent by any means, but they will, when they hit, be a lot harder.
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. Just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
Both men step back for just a moment. How about that time counter shot. Caution being thrown to the wind. Nice counter shot. The perfect counter lands. Let's talk about kovalev that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
Dominance, without a doubt, makes it look so easy.
He's ready to... Okay, now you've let him back into the fight that round. Switch on, switch on.
To go, but you've got to be smart, otherwise he'll see it and he'll ride it out.
It's a tougher fight and he's going to be confident. You'll take that confidence away.
Go smart, you were loading up, but you were still landing your power shots. Good work. Don't forget the jab, and don't get carried away. Think about the defense on the end of what you do. Good work.
Get back out there. He needs to win this round. Get your mind back. Get your focus.
Here we go in the championship rounds, round 11. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. A perfect counter shot. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
That counter shot lands. Swing and a miss with the hook. They won't give us a second to catch our breath. That counter shot lands. As we burn through these rounds, this aggressive fighter continues to come forward, seemingly with endless energy, Johnny.
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown a shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. It's like a match made in heaven.
Those counter punches have to hurt. Walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. The straight right just misses. Nice counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. That counter punch caught him clean. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. That last round. That was almost a 10-8 round. Complete dominance.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep...
Who thought we would have made it to 12? This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
He wasn't ready for that counter punch. This fighter is not interested in throwing one shot at a time. They throw combinations and they throw them non-stop.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's when the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Punch, counter punch. He threw a punch and just got countered. When are we going to see a jab from these two? There's been a significant aggression difference in this fight, Johnny. What do you see?
This is about ego. Get your ego in check, Todd, because if you fight a man that is used to doing this, he's confident and comfortable doing this, why are you giving him that chance to dance that dance? Step out of the way, box him, frustrate him, because if you let him get away with it, he blows you down.
This has been a very competitive round between these two.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Those counter punches have to hurt. Nice counter. Just when you thought we'd see a lull in the action, here we go again. No rest for the weary. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. And that hook misses. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. And that's it, a unanimous decision win.
They've done it before, now they're doing it again, and look what's happened. A unanimous decision. What a way, what tactics, what a game plan. What a result.